Right, Keith. So, Keith, there's a lot of different things going on out here. We're gonna break it down here. Here is our hot topic. Get the flames going. The flames. Make sure you get the flames on that. Make sure you get the flames on that editing there, Jacob. When you get the Jacob, the flames. All right. Our hot topic here. All right, Keith. We're talking about something that gets people all riled up. Transfers. All right, transfers. Uh, I want to hear your take on this, Keith. I know there's a situation that the football Conwell Egan had a player who transferred mid-season into Conwell Egan from another school. There's kids sometimes who, we just talked about Will Melson transfer, was at Deeruff, transferred to Becca, now he's back at Deeruff. If you go to Jersey, they have rules in place where kids, when you transfer, you actually have to sit out.
I like that. I wish they'd do that here.
You have to sit out.
That would make good that people look at. Go ahead.
No.
Finish your thoughts.
I'm just laying out the scenario. All right, Jersey, like we say, if you transfer in Jersey, you have to sit out. I think 2 months of the season before you can get going and start playing again. So just trying to pick your brain here a little bit, Keith. See what your thoughts are. Kids transferring. Should it be allowed?
Right now,
should it not be? What do you think, Keith?
First of all, kids are going to go where they want to go, and it's parents, it's kids. And to a certain extent, it's a free country. You should be able to go where you want to go. However, you're talking about fairness, and you're talking about it's not really the transfer issue as much as it's how we have to match up our teams. For example, now we lost. You look at our District 11 teams. We lost to basically an all-star team in St. Joe's Prep. We lost to an all-star team in Conwell Egan. We lost to you might as well say an all-star team in Imhotep Charter.
Imhotep, yeah.
And it's a public school. It's a public school deal. And people are upset about the especially when you have a public school like a Parkland. Parkland has no crying for Parkland. Parkland's got a huge student enrollment, a lot of kids to pick from there. They have all the means, all the talented kids. They have great youth programs, great everything at Parkland. So nobody's going to cry any tears over that. But it's the fairness issue when it comes to the state playoffs. That's what has people mostly up in arms. What I want people to think about, though, the Conwell Egan kid.
Okay.
Now, he played for a full year at another school. There should be a limit to NFL guys can't, go play a whole regular season. There's deadlines and stuff for player movement.
Sure.
You can't I know for a fact in baseball you have to be on the major league roster
before
your
playoffs.
Right. So like September 1 already.
Right.
You have to spend at least a month before you could be eligible for the playoff roster. To me, it's just in bad form, bad taste, kind of unethical to take a kid who played a full season at another school and say, "Oh, come on board, and you can get back in the PA playoffs with me."
What was that? What did he play?
He played a full season, 10 games, I believe, with Notre Dame of Lawrenceville, New Jersey, and he came over. Their season was done. He came over and hopped the board. Now, listen,
that's bad.
Think about the young man who was in his
took his spot.
Was in the starting lineup.
Right, he took his spot.
He was there, presumably, since the first day of practice. Probably was there. Now basically every team now in every sport practices all year long.
Right.
There's no rules anymore about that.
Right.
Okay, there was a time when you couldn't even see the kids that you were coaching until X date, but that's all gone. We see it all. We see obviously the summer basketball. In the old days, Dickie Schmidt and Milo Seward, they couldn't even have contact with kids. Now, of course, everybody's involved at Cedar Beach. It's wonderful. But look, let me get back off track, back on track. You can't. The problem here it's unethical in so many ways. What happened there,
right?
But the bottom line, the way it's set up right now. This principal calls up, "Hey, Joe's coming over to play with your team. The rest, yeah, Pete, that's fine. Bring him over. We could use him. I sign up, you sign up. It's all. It's not fair, man. It's just not fair, and that's what gets people up in arms. And I'm concerned. I'm concerned about we have such a divisive world right now. We do. So high school sports should be kind of an oasis from all the other stuff that's going on sometimes. I want my high school sports to be away from all the other. But I'm telling you, the way we're going, and you get sort of like a, I don't know, I hate to say it, a redneckish type of community and more of an urban community. And you get people from those communities, and one doesn't like what the other one's doing, and they're getting together in the parking lot.
It can
get
get
ugly.
It can get ugly
And
out there.
I am concerned that we're going to have a track. I don't think I'm overblowing that.
Nah.
It gets very contentious, especially when you got a public school going against the private school. It gets very, very tense, very, very nasty. I don't.
Any suggestions, Keith? Any suggestions?
Well, we got to. I think I like what you said. I like what New Jersey. You want to move, fine, but you're going to sit out a period of time. You're going to sit out.
Right.
You have to sit out a couple, maybe miss 30%, 40%, whatever. I think there was a rule like that in place at one particular time.
Okay.
The problem is now is everybody you move. Kids coming over from here or there,
right.
and it's like, well, I'm going to get you block them. I'm going to get a lawyer, and we'll fight it. And usually they back down. Usually they back down.
That's the problem, Keith. How can you prove it? How can you prove it? Some kids.
That's right. But they're going to make it now. According to Bob Hartman, who's the District 11 chairman, they are going to tighten up the rules and sort of make it more. Right now, it's like it's on. If you want to block something, it's on you to prove that it was for athletic reasons.
Right.
They're going to flip the switch a little bit and make the athlete prove that, hey, this was about academics. This was about my parents. I couldn't afford this school, so I'm going over to this school. Right. We moved. Grandma had to take care of me. They're going to put more of the pressure on the families moving involved to prove that, hey, indeed, this should be legit. This should be approved. The way it is now, it's on the school that wants to block you. They're the ones that have to provide the proof. And I'm going to say this, too.
Go ahead.
Real quick. There was an athlete. I'm not going to mention his name, but people think I'm bashing the private school. No. The worst transfer that I can remember was a Easton football player.
Yeah.
Who spent
wrestling, right?
3.5 years? No, baseball.
Oh, baseball.
3.5 years. He was the quarter.
Yeah.
3.5 years, and he winds up being a Nazareth graduate. He spent like a couple months at Nazareth. Oh, he's a bad.
That was
Look,
bad.
There's bad form all over the place.
Right.
There's bad. It's not just one way.
Right.
I know a lot of people think it's always one way. There are other cases here. I could point to a couple other examples. Okay, but. It just creates this dark cloud. It's not. I don't like it. I hope they can try to nip it in the bud because we have had leagues break up, and guess what? There's a lot of rumblings again that there's going to be people kicked out or reformations of leagues without certain teams in it if they don't clean up their act. We'll see where it goes.
Well, that's one take on it. That's the one take on it. Some people, there too much transference going on. But I'm going to give you another outlook on it, Keith. You know what I mean? Especially when you're talking about kids going from public school to private schools or vice versa, private school to public schools. If you have a kid at a private school, he's at whatever is by private schools and, hey, you know what? Hey, and this price tag is this $5,000 a year. I can't do it anymore. I want to go back to my home school. Even if that's not the case, that there's no way that anybody can necessarily prove that. So we live in a country here, I feel, great America, free enterprise, as you always said. If Keith Groller wants to go over to Lehigh Valley Live tomorrow, he can go to Lehigh. If I wanted to transfer to another job, I have the free right to do that. So it kind of makes it's a little difficult because, as a parent, now I'm talking as a parent. Now I have my little Gracie. If she's at Parkland. No, she would never leave Parkland because that wouldn't happen. But if she
might.
That would never happen.
She might.
That might never happen. But she was, unless she was going straight to Wimbledon. But if she was at Parkland and I wanted, hey, you know what? This isn't working out over here.
I agree with that.
This isn't working out. This isn't working out. I want you to go to Central Catholic. I don't necessarily have a problem with that. My issue with the transferring stuff is more when kids go like public to public and they're changing their addresses and they're fudging things around.
And there's a lot of fudging going on.
There's a lot of fudging. I think that's where it becomes unfair because now you're not in the school district. You're doing things.
There are kids, and I'm all about opportunity. And by the way, this is the year of opportunity when we come. Every coach every coach I talked to and I talked to a ton of them over the last 10 days or so.
Right.
I don't know how many said, we're going to give kids an opportunity to play. Kids that didn't get a chance are going to get to step up and show what they can do this year. Opportunity. And I agree. Look, there are certain schools. There was a kid that just had a nice career, not this past year, a kid that was not going to play. He was stuck behind Devontae Cross at Parkland High School, and he went to Central Catholic getting a nice – I can't really fault him for that.
Right.
He's now playing Division II football. I agree. It's just this I don't know.
I think my suggestion would be it's
I think
tough.
there's got to be a little bit of a detriment. This is not. I mean, I can't. You say it's easy to leave here and there. I get it, but it's not. I might have to sit out a period of time before I would go, or have there might be something in my contract that would prevent me from going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you can't always get your way. Sometimes you got to fight through situations. I think right now, and it's not necessarily the coaches. Look at
AAU culture, right, Keith?
No.
AAU culture. I know, Keith. AAU culture. Here we go.
Well, I think. Look at here's what I think. If we, sometimes you got to stick it out and work things through, because guess what? You can't just flip a switch and do. Maybe you think it's easy to get a good job, but guess what? If I get canned by the paper tomorrow, I might have to go do plumbing or something for a living. You know what I mean? Well, that would be awful if I was doing plumbing.
Yeah, I don't want you plumbing.
But sometimes, stick it. I'm not about blocking opportunity,
right.
But sometimes you got to learn that you can't always get your way, and you can't just. You
try to weasel your way out of it. I guess that's how people feel the situation. You're kind of weaseling your way out of it. But, like I said, I mean, I believe in opportunity. I feel if you build your program, you have a program, you build your program like how it's supposed to be built. Kids are going to be attracted to that. They're going to want to come to that, and it's going to be hard for them to leave for that.
But let me ask you this, and do you think it's fair for a public school which basically has 95%. Now, Palisades wasn't pure either, because Palisades had a kid that transferred from CB West.
Yeah, West, okay.
But most of those kids grew up together.
Right.
They grew up together. They grew up in the rural area there at Bucks County.
Yep.
They worked hard, had a great season, and then they line up against a team that kids over in Jersey comes. Do you think that's fair? Honestly, is that fair for that school that they were playing to say, yeah, come on over? And they have basically an all-star team from, let's say, 6 counties, 3 states. Do you think that's fair? And you know damn well that's what St. Joe's Prep and some of those people are doing. Do you think this is where it's at right now? Our people around here, and they complain about people around here, that's never going to change.
Complain? People in Lehigh Valley complaining?
Yeah.
Hey, I don't believe that.
They do complain. And I've heard
I've
heard once in a while, maybe 3 months ago, somebody complained. It doesn't happen every day, of course, because we have great people around here. But anyway, look at people have no idea around here. I mean, around here, people are on the up and up, and they want to do the right things by and large. Not, obviously we want to win.
Right.
And if you could come over to play for me and you could help me win, hey, I might have a job a little bit longer. We'll take care of you. I'll take care. But you're dealing with a different deal down there.
Definitely. You're
dealing with a different animal down there, a different dynamic, a different approach, a different mentality, and we knew this was coming. Nobody should be shocked when they said Philly come on in.
District 12 opens up.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
So that is in conclusion with that. Like I said, I think personally that there should be separate between public and private, especially when it comes to state playoffs. Should be a private classifications, public classifications. Let the public schools play the public school, let private school play the private schools. And then maybe if you want to have like Jersey has like
crossover,
has like to have a states and then have like one, all the champions will play each other.
Let me tell you this, and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but look,
we can hurt feelings here, Keith. It's okay. Go ahead, Keith.
So the PIAA would love to have an all-exclusive public league tournament. You know why? They're guaranteed a huge crowd.
Fans,
if they get
money,
they get a private school or a charter school. Whether it's St. Joe's Prep or Imhotep, and people think they lump them together, but they're two different. One's a charter school, publicly funded, and right. The crowds aren't there. I mean, the crowds. You're going to get parents. Becca had a great run in girls basketball. We thought they were going to have a great run in boys. How many people really got into them? Sadly, and I love Talia Medina. Yeah. I love Jose.
Yeah,
I love Jose. Yeah. But you're not going to get the whole community behind the team. You're going to get a couple parents, and again, it's that that I'll throw it. It's like an AAU. You're going to an AAU tournament. Right. Who's there? I mean, I know there's a lot of coaches there.
Yep.
But it's primarily for the parents. They're there. They're cheering, and maybe the parents' relative. You
don't really get the community.
But you're not going to get. Oh, I lived and died with Becca for 30 years. I want to be there. You're not going to get that. If you had. Parkland has a good following.
Or Allen or something.
Allen had a great following.
Right.
Great following.
Public schools, yeah.
And that's why the PIAA is like looking at this, and maybe there's a way they can have 2 separate tournaments and see, because they're getting killed at the gate. I'm telling you right now, Imhotep Charter. I know it was a cold night Not a great venue, by the way, down here in Germantown. But Imhotep, that probably maybe pushed 1,000 people for a state semifinal football game the other night. Cold night, Philadelphia, not easy. Holiday traffic, that kind of stuff, tough to get to. We got 2 local cable companies here. But the gate's being killed, too, by some of this stuff.
No doubt. And I know we talked about this in the past, though, Keith, especially in the basketball world, that, we talk about, guys going to Hershey, the Catholic schools, the District 12 schools going to Hershey.
They may be considered having satellite locations because and we had a good conversation under the tent with Jason Boggs, and Jason said, it'd be well, then put it in Philadelphia. If it is, say, I don't know, give me a matchup, Simon Gratz or somebody versus.
You're going back to the 90s there, Simon Gratz.
Whatever. I mean, who's really good down there?
Talking like Gretti, Archbishop Wood, Imhotep, whatever. Anytime, like you say, if you go
put it at Temple or something.
Yeah,
like that.
if you go down to some of these Philly games, I mean, these games are packed, so the crowds are there for that one. They do support those Catholic schools, those charter schools, but when it's in their city, it's got to be in their city, though. Inner city.
In fairness to them, too, they still consider the city championship the bigger deal. A lot of them still do.
Indeed.
That's where tradition is.
Seriously, you're right. You're right.
This PIAA thing's a new thing.
You're right. So, yeah, District 12 is just getting in. So, that's our hot topic of the day. Transfers. I had to get Keith all fired up out there. Had to get him fired up.